Hey guys, this is Danny's review and I'm back for the year. On top of that, I haven't done a video since last year. Happy New Year's, even though I'm late. Um, so I'm just going to talk about a little experience going back to my first locals for the year. I got the day off from work, so I decided to head down there with some new cards, a new bill, and see how it goes. So like last year, I have to roll budget, so I didn't have no Sprite starters, no Sprite Blue. So I got about 3 starters. I got a blue. I got some bestias. I didn't have no bestias neither, so I trying a different build now. So I went, um, try a different approach, and had some fun today. So usually in our locals, once a month they try to do some cash prize tournaments. So I went to that one today, and you just have a large turnout. But to my surprise, the turnout was smaller than what they intended to at least have minimum in players. But it was okay. You know, they're a little disappointing. You'd like to see a bigger cash prize, more people to play, make a top 8. But this time it was really into top 4. But we had about 5 rounds of Swiss, and I played 4 elements and 1 Sprite. Yeah, diversity. um, yeah, so I went in there. I reached early. Usually me who does reach late. I reached early. I had my main deck ready already. Usually as we scrambling to finalize the main deck, I had my extra deck ready. I only had to finalize my side deck, and that didn't take too long. Unfortunately, I didn't get to eat before I reached there, but I ate a little small thing. But later on in the day, that affected me because, like in the last round, I was, I was hungry with a headache. So, piece of advice: whenever you're going to your tournament, eat before you reach there. Have something to also nibble in between, and also get a proper night of rest. Telling you, it makes a difference. So, first rounds, I played 2 elements, no surprise, and I tried a new extra deck monster. Um, I can't remember its name, but it has mosquito in its name, a rank 2, and it basically puts some counter on a monster, negating it. And then when you declare attack with other monsters or any monster, it could select a monster with those counter on it and burn your opponent for life points before the attack goes through now. And I snuck about 2 wins against 2 element players today. So definitely with that now, and it being a good replacement for Calvary, Centura Calvary, I believe is the name. I have now believe certified this deck should this monster should stay in the extra deck for sprites. So it performed. I loved it, so I will be keeping that in my extra deck. So basically this tournament, it helped me to see what ratios, what cards made sense, anything new I could learn from the opponents, yeah, and had to have some fun. I definitely had some fun. So the mosquito performed. I won that first match, I believe 2-1 or 2-0, I'm not sure. My first player was Luke Leacock. Yes. um I can't recall, but I know I win match, and he was basically like playing OCG. So he have full elements, but he also playing Kashtira package. So me now, game 1 I win. I see no Kashtira, just elements, and I won that match with Mosquito. And then game 2 now, I believe he won game 2. I trying to recall. I don't know if I'm mixing it up, but I believe I played him first. Yeah. And in another game now, he, I think it's game 3. Yes, he beat me game 2, and in game 3, like I saw like Fenrir pop out, Unicorn pop out. I used my tools on this, thinking he playing a kind of pure cash tier thing, and then I saw the elements just jump out of nowhere. You understand? Start to mill and do this, and I was like, wow. But it was a good game. So I won match 1. Round 2, I play next element. I won that. Round 3 now, I played a mirror match. He having full core sprites with all the gadgets and all the text. Main deck shifters. I lost that match. He won game 1. It was a dice roll, and he won the dice roll, so he won game 1. I didn't really open that strong, but I tried a thing and lost game 1. Game 2, he shifted me when I used sprite sprint to send angler, so I had no toad play there. Then when it was his turn, now all I made was a gigantic make special in a carrot to field, and I set 2 back cards. It has the quick plays, I believe. And he had Dark Wheel no more. Like, he didn't even want to bother with that one negate, and then he evenly matched my board. And he tried to combo, but he couldn't make no toad himself because he was underneath shifter as well. And so when he evenly matched me, I had dimensional barrier. So I changed that and called XYZ, so he couldn't make no gigantic or anything like that. And he couldn't make no toad, no toad neither. So he couldn't really do anything much. So he tried to make a little board. Ash, his blue, he brought jet, he tried to get rid of my monster, and he had nothing on the field, and I just normal I period, draw a card, get jet, special, start a combo, and he was like, alright, game 3, and game 3 went first, and he just had it, everything, like lovely. So I lost that match. Game 4, round 4, sorry, I played against Tay Elements again. Draw with that one. I lost game 1. I'm trying to recall, and I think I lost game 1. I won game 2, and I redrawed game 3. Trying to recall, but I drawed with that match. And then round 5, play Tay Elements again. And his Tay Elements was Tay Elements mixed with a nimble package. So he had a little more flexibility with certain plays, and he won both 2-0. He won, I believe, game 2 with time, yes, because the first game was long. Honestly, he played a little slow, but he played slow. But I didn't really let it bother me too much, but I really had to let him know, you had to make your moves faster, your thought process, everything faster, Tay Elements is done already, a deck that takes up time, and we need to play the game as best as we could, fast as we could, so everybody could get a chance to actually have a turn to make, especially if you have no interruptions, coming back at your way. And that was it. I played 5 rounds. I won 2, draw 1, lost 1, I believe. Yeah. No, I lost 2, win 2, and draw 1. And then make top 4, came 9th. So during the day, I learned Mosquito. Definitely, first time trying it. I enjoyed it. I loved it. It's going to stay in my extra deck. I got to talk to some of the players, gain some knowledge from them, interact with them, against the Sprite player. He was our national champion for last year, Nicholas Harrison Singh. And just talked about what he played in his deck and that kind of thing. And one of his noticeable mentions is playing dimensional shifter in the main. You understand? And most likely I would presume he will play the sprite quick play that lets all level 2 rank 2 and link 2 monsters on the field gain 1400 attack. Most likely I'm sure he's playing that. So it was cool. Talking to him, and he ended up making top 4. I believe he lost in top 4, but it was great to see that it helped him. So that maybe a thought process playing move along, maybe playing shifter in the main. But then again, we have Cashtira coming out, so against Cashtira and Fluanderies, it that may not make sense. It may, at that time being, may have to stay in the side. Seeing the person who was playing Cashtira mix up with Tay Elements, I don't know if he sided the Cashtiras or he was maining them, I can't recall. But he's done already playing OCG. he done already prepped, he playing it OCG full. So even if the ban list from Konami does want to go all ham and restrict the field spell and ban Kit Kalos and restrict some of the main deck monsters, he done already have his package waiting already there using. So I have some, he done already good to go. That is Leacock, Luke Leacock, and it was nice seeing it was Ezekiel Bailey. Yeah, he played nimble package within his tail elements, and he like using the Grapha, the big Dark World Fusion. A lot of them use the Dark World Fusion, and he's main decking now. I think Namiko King, the little cat kitten looking monster that when it's sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card effect, or your opponent send it to the graveyard by a card effect, it ends their turn. So using the Dark World monster to send that, force you to send it as if it was the opponent sending it, and ending your turn. Catch me by surprise with that. Catch me by surprise with the nimble package as well. You would think that they would send with Sprint, they would send Murley, but they're sending Angler and Angler, especially in 2, and doing he does his shenanigans and make Elf and bring back Murley. He special one Murley off a Gigantic, and he Elf a Murley from the graveyard, so he can make Toad. That's nice. That's nice. That's good for him. Usually we have a bigger turnout, but I believe honestly with how the format is and talking to some people are highly discouraged in playing this format with the elements, so they're just waiting for the ban list to see what goes on with the decks, the top decks, if they'll get restricted or anything. I believe knowing Konami trying to make the money and thing, and it's fair to the people who spend the money behind the elements. For the TCG, I think we only had one format with it. So if we follow the OCG ban list, they would just probably restrict the field spell to 1, which wouldn't make no big difference, especially with these Suzu cards to recycle it. But to do a full hit and just ban Kalos and restrict the field spell and restrict this is like, nah, it's too soon. It's too soon for TCG. So I think we might still have a next format with it. Just the field spell going to 1. I don't think Flanders will get hit. But if they do choose to go harsh on the 2 decks, we may see Barrier Statue ban, and Flanders might, go down there on any tail list. And tail elements will just have to play King of the Swamps. If I was playing tail elements, I would have done already be playing King of the Swamps, especially Castillo coming out to banish your one of Kit Carlos in the extra deck if you only have one. So we just have to wait until this ban list comes out. Me, myself, I wait until the ban list come out after this one, because I won't be able to really go to any tournaments in a while, and I won't be in a hurry. So I waiting for the ban list to see what it gives us back and what it takes, from the top decks. I hope they don't really touch Sprite. If they do touch Sprite, they'll probably touch the Jet and the Starter like how they did in the OCG, but I don't really see the needs. I think they will just go soft on the main decks right now. Just put the field spell for tail elements onto 1 and give us the next format, and then probably the next ban list after this ban list in February, I believe, they would then pay Sheer into 1, pay Harvness to 1. Harvness having that interaction in your opponent turn, probably touch the Suzu cards, because really the Suzu cards give the tail elements that boost to be tier 0, so they probably restrict the main ones. I could see them restricting the Jet, the Starter, banning the Barrier Statue, especially now Castillo could bring it out with the Raider after XYZ as well, and they're already playing Shifter. I guess in a way functioning better than Flanders. We will see some hand traps come back into play, like Drill and Lockbird, Lancia, Artifact Lancia, Bibiru, Imperm being stronger. I can't wait for that new ban list, honestly, to tell you, just like everybody else. But a lot of players are discouraged of the elements right now. They find the format is stale, it's nothing exciting, it's too powerful. They can't afford those tailman cards, or the 3 field spells is like, just waiting on the ban list to just come back out and see if it make a difference what the ban list did. But I really don't expect the banlist to really make a big difference next banlist, because Konami have to make the money, you know. And for the people who built tournaments in TCG, they only got one format, I believe, like 3 months or 4 months. So we go have to wait and see. But till then, you know, while playing, you know, learn, see what text could play, ratios, so forth. I learned a lot. I see what made sense, what did not make sense. With situations, a lot of tournaments is based on luck on how they mill as well. So sometimes they mill bad, sometimes they mill good according to the situation. You could tell if to interrupt here or not. If you had the interruptions, how to play through, you learn from that. Don't just be sour or vexed because you lost today, you didn't do good today. You have to learn from these things and come back with a game plan to play again. Just keep on coming. You just learn from your losses. I could tell you that, and you'll see the progress. Hard work does pay off, so you'll see the progress. I ain't have my time as yet. I ain't winning nothing, but I know I could top. The furthest I ever made was top 4 in any locals. Furthest I made in any Konami event was top 8. But I know one day you will be hearing me coming on the YouTube channel here and saying, hey, I came first in this locals or this regional or this national or whatever it may be. But until then, it's just me talking about my little experience at my locals and the format and, you know, little opinions. And yeah, all enjoy all the day. Until the next video, I'm out.